Fellas, we have a situation. I'd like to get to it right away. This is the Mets game last night, the broadcast. The Mets announcer, Gary Cohen, correct? And they're doing a little bump back from break, and they're showing Skyline Chili. For those that don't know, it is a legendary chili, hot dog, etc. place in the Cincinnati area. Dan, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to ask you to wait till we get back on air for your reaction. Hold it if you can.
This is the local delicacy known as Skyline Chili. The five-way with the spaghetti and the beans and the cheese. Five-way. First, the disgusting chili gravy. And when you put on the onions, you put some mustard or something on that? Wait a second. After the onions comes the cheese, and that's what makes it the five-way. Here we go, there's the cheese. They put like 10 tons of shredded cheese on there, and this is supposed to be food that you actually eat. Now, does the cheese melt, or is that Ronnie, have you ever had Skyline Chili? I have not. I would recommend not having it, or? Well, no, you need to try everything once. Okay, right? All right. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Try it once, and then you'll never eat it again.
Okay, Dan, I'm going to ask you to hold your reaction because this is a big one today. Topic we've touched on before. Nice shirt, by the way. But when we come back on radio, the floor will be yours to do it. Like everybody, all calm it down. All calm it down.
I feel like we need to hold you back.
Hold you back.
Like we're on the bench right now. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I can't make people smarter. I'm from Cincinnati, just outside of Cincinnati. And, I'm territorial at times. Love where I grew up. Love the people. Everybody's territorial where they grew up. Or there could be a type of food that you grew up with, and you're territorial. Paulie loves Chicago hot dogs, and they're terrible. And Paulie likes Chicago pizza, and it's terrible. But Paulie loves it, and that's fine. He likes old-style beer. I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Like, I'm being accurate. And then it comes to Cincinnati, not exactly a food capital of the world, but we take pride in Gold Star Chili or Skyline Chili. And it's kind of soupy chili put on spaghetti and got a lot of cheese. And it's a topping is what it is. It's not ideal for everybody, and I normally don't have it unless I've had a couple of beers, but it is ours. And they've been doing it. I have a Gold Star Chili T-shirt that my daughter gave to me this past Christmas. They've been serving this since 1949. It's like White Castle. Nobody has White Castle hamburgers until after midnight, it feels like. But I love them. Yeah, Seton?
That's when Skyline Chili is meant to be eaten, sort of that post-bar crowd?
I think so.
Because that makes a huge difference with White Castle. Time of day that you're eating it in a certain state that you're in.
Yeah, Paul.
Also, to preface this, whatever city you live in around America, whenever someone visits, you say, you got to go here. You got to try this. And the first time I went to Cincinnati, I was visiting my sister at Miami, Ohio. People said, you got to get Skyline or Gold Star chili dogs. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I made sure it was on my list, top thing, got to go. So it's one of those places, it sets up high expectations when you're a visitor to the town.
Now, the reason why I bring this up is Gary Cohen is the fine announcer for the New York Mets. And they're playing the Cincinnati Reds, and he had this to say last night.
This is the local delicacy known as Skyline Chili. The five-way with the spaghetti and the beans and the cheese. Five-way. First, the disgusting chili gravy. And what do you put on the onions? You put some mustard or something on that? Wait a second. After the onions comes the cheese, and that's what makes it the five-way. Here we go, there's the cheese. They put like 10 tons of shredded cheese on there, and this is supposed to be food that you actually eat. Now, does the cheese melt, or is that Ronnie, have you ever had Skyline Chili? I have not. I would recommend not having it, or? Well, no, you need to try everything once. Okay, right? All right. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Try it once, and then you'll never eat it again.
Okay, that's Gary Cohen, who's supposed to be just play-by-play. Feels like he's being an analyst there. Just saying. Gary, just do the play-by-play. Just do the play. Are you this honest about the New York Mets? That's what I would want to know. If you're going to be that honest about Gold Star Chili, I hope that you have the unvarnished truth about the New York Mets. And then you're fine to criticize Gold Star Skyline Chili. He did say to try it. But I know that Anthony Bourdain tried it, and he didn't say not to eat it. It's original. It's America. That's what it is. It's a combination of a lot of things. That's what Anthony Bourdain said.
Yeah.
It's America. That's what it is.
Is this Cincinnati Dan right now on the air?
Yeah, but I'm okay with Gold Star and Skyline. It's not one of those where I go, God, I can't wait to get home. And you can order a can of the Skyline Chili online and get it delivered. My brothers have done that around the country. Yes,
It does. The chili does look a lot better on a hot dog than it does on spaghetti for some reason. The spaghetti thing really throws me off.
I'm not a spaghetti guy, the 5-way or 4-way, but if you give me a couple of chili dogs, it's pretty good. No, it serves a purpose there. This isn't, Michelin star dining. Yeah, Paul.
The top 2 trending topics in America half an hour ago were, in order, Jeff Bezos' space, Skyline Chili, Gary Cohen.
All right.
To give you an idea of the importance of said topic.
And I would say Skyline Chili should be number 1.
Right.
Instead of a billionaire going up for 10 minutes and coming back down.
They're doing it every week, those guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nothing to see here. But do I get territorial with Skyline Gold Star? A little bit. But it's... Try it. But I would recommend trying it later. Later in the evening. And maybe have some beers. I think Anthony Bourdain recommended that you have beers, 2 beers at least before you have it.
There you go.
Not many food groups where you say, yeah, you got to be liquored up a little bit before you have it. We'll keep an eye on this story.
Fellas, we spent a lot of time today talking about Skyline Chili, local delicacies, what the locals like versus people nationally. Here's a picture of a Skyline Chili cheese dog, a pair of them. Now, if you remember, the great chef, one of my favorites of all time, Anthony Bourdain, he actually went to Skyline Chili years ago. He's a man who likes to try things that are indigenous to regions. Here are some quotes from Anthony Bourdain. Skyline Chili is not chili you know it. It's not made for eating as a standalone dish. It's a mutant hybrid, a topping gone wild, a meaty brown beanless sauce that tastes of cinnamon. He says it's a mix of like New England oyster crackers and southern sweet tea, chili from the Southwest, spaghetti from Italy. He said all of this is on one plate. It's a story of America and it's built in Cincinnati. He goes, if you don't like this, you're not drinking enough beer. The colors, just because these colors don't occur in nature don't mean they're bad, he declared. You don't ask what's in it. You don't ask what's in it or how it's made. You just enjoy it. Anthony Bourdain. Thoughts on that take?
First of all, rest in peace.
Yep.
But he's spot on. As I said earlier in the show, I mean, this is, if you don't want it, don't eat it.
You don't have to love it, but don't knock it till you
tried it.
There you go.
But even if you try it and you don't like it, okay.
Right.
I was going to say, because it did feel like Gary Cohen had tried it and is now knocking it.
But does he knock every food in every city that he goes to that maybe doesn't live up to his standards?
I watched this episode, and Anthony Bourdain didn't necessarily like Skyline Chili and what they made, but he said,
well, he's
hey,
a fellow who has a decent palate.
Right.
So.
But he was trying to say, like, hey, this is what they do here, and I'm going to take a shot at it and see what it's made of.
Yeah, I mean, it's like White Castle hamburgers. You never have them before 11 o'clock at night.
Shouldn't.
But it's okay. I mean, it's good for what it's there for. And he's right. When you have beers and you want to have some Gold Star or Skyline Chili, I mean, somebody should tell Gary Cohen that there is Gold Star and Skyline, and they sort of do the same thing. So maybe he wants to rip them too.
Or should he stay in his lane altogether and just do the Mets game?
Well,
even though I know they're showing
no,
video
because it is Cincinnati and it's part of Cincinnati.
And you have to make some kind of comment if they're showing video.
Are you
on
saying
the
he should
screen.
stay in his lane?
I think he should.
But is Gary as honest about the Mets play?
That's
is
the question.
He is with, okay.
That's-
Wow,
hey,
now you're going
okay,
into
now
his
we're talking.
professional
How about that,
integrity,
Gary?
Dan.
That's called announcer on announcer crime.